This podcast is brought to you throughout the month of November by our friends at Minimal Case. They are the cases that are so thin and light they keep your phone gorgeous and add zero bulk. It's crazy how thin these cases are. It's also crazy how cheap they are, because if you use the code DDPodcast, you'll get 25% off your order, which is pretty awesome. Just go to minimalcase.com and use the code DDPodcast, or click the link in the show notes. Once again, that's mnmlcase.com and use the promo code DDPodcast to get 25% off your order, and we thank them for sponsoring this podcast. Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Doud here with a slightly later version of the month in review. The flip of the calendar marks the end of Techtober and the start of that weird season between Halloween and Thanksgiving when we all want to run out and start Christmas shopping, but we know that's just wrong. And then the radio stations and malls start playing Christmas music anyway. So before we descend into that turkey versus Santa cage match, let's look back at the month that was. And the big story here is that what was once huge is now teeny tiny small, and of course we're talking about smartphone cameras and how to improve them. I'm not sure why I said of course just then, but I did. Here's the thing, smartphone cameras on the whole are already pretty great. Just about any smartphone made in 2019 can take good photos during the day, and for the most part, that's what people care about. Reviewers, in the meantime, know this, so they're going after the nitty-gritty stuff and other stuff that nobody does well. Low-light photography, portrait mode, AI and software processing. Those are all the minor details that reviewers such as myself really dig into. The only problem is, the only people that really care about that stuff are the reviewers, and the professionals, and the artists. Do you want to know why Google brought a professional photographer onto stage and made us sit through a very painful 10-minute interview? Because photographers are the only ones who care. Do you want to know why Apple bragged about the director who shot a movie using the front and rear cameras at the same time? Because only directors would care. We don't. We just want to snap a photo of the mountain that we're standing on, or grab a selfie at the club that's going to look just as crappy as our friend's selfie from another club. We're talking about tiny details that are there, sure they're there, but it's like arguing about the 0.5% better that one thing is over the other. That's why when you see camera comparisons between the Pixel 4, the iPhone 11, the Galaxy Note 10, and the OnePlus 7T, you can't see a clear winner in every category. They're all really close, and they're all really good, which is admittedly a win for OnePlus, but par for the course for the others. OnePlus cameras have been hot garbage up until recently. But anyway. Then there's the lenses, and here we're pretty much just talking about the Google Pixel 4, because most other flagship smartphones have all the lenses you need. Google. I'm talking about the standard lens, telephoto lens, and ultra-wide-angle lens. Google felt it had to make a choice between the two, and for the record, I agree with Google's choice. I'm a dad, and I'm constantly trying to take photos of my kids up on a stage, or my kids at a soccer field, or my kids standing on a railing and, holy shit, get down from there! What the f***? Sorry. Maybe I need to get a life. No one is arguing that point, but the fact of the matter is there never should have been a choice in the first place. Just put the third camera on the back and have a nice day. Google spent so much time copying Apple on just about every aspect of the Pixel 4 and left that one detail out. And at the same time, Google completely ignored the fact that batteries matter. A 2800 milliamp hour battery is a joke, and Android authorities Chris Carlin said that he'd be picking up a Pixel 4 because he loves the phone, but you're right, he's going to complain about the battery every day. We even talked about this before, back in August with that story that said people no longer think of distances in miles, but in battery life, like it's going to take 25% of my battery to get to the football game or whatever. Now with the Google Pixel 4, 50% battery is about 10.5 feet. Bottom line, cameras are really great now, so let's focus on battery going forward. And while we contemplate the distance between work and home and battery percent, let's look at the major events of October in our roundup! Elon Musk, Tesla, and SpaceX were in the news a bit this month, starting with Smart Summon rolling out to the first Tesla cars on October 1st. Smart Summon, it turns out, was not so smart. Neither was Musk, who claimed he had no cash to pay his definitely not a pedo guy plaintiff in his defamation lawsuit, but then went ahead and donated $1 million to plant trees around the world. I'm not arguing against the tree planting cause, mind you, but the timing kinda sucks. Oh, and speaking of unrealistic timing, SpaceX said that they'd have satellite satellite internet blanketing the US by mid-2020. Good luck with that. Mark Zuckerberg accounted for an unusually high percentage of stories this month, directly and indirectly. First, an internal chit-chat with employees leaked to The Verge. In it, Zuck talked about the way the world sees Facebook, and it's not as crappy as it should be. Instagram then rolled out its Threads app to allow close friends to stalk you. See where you are. I guess, I don't use it. Then Zuckerberg had a public broadcast of his town hall chat, which was definitely not scrupulously planned and executed. Zuckerberg's encore was a speech given to Georgetown University in which he pretended that people don't remember the movie Social Network and also pretended that people don't suck, which they do, and they do. Then he took his show on the road to Capitol Hill where he got grilled by Congress and started a meme with AOC that is molto bene. And that's when things got weird. HTC's new CEO appeared on the news and said that everything is great because everything is terrible, and he's right. Andy Rubin showed off half a phone called the Gem while simultaneously reminding people that he has baggage. Fortnite sucked its world into a black hole for 2 days and came back with a whole new map and the ability to fish. Motorola gave us a launch date for its new Razr phone while TCL showed off its Hinge for some reason. Disney made some poor intern tweet 629 tweets of everything coming to Disney Plus next month. Poor kid. And finally, Microsoft blew the minds of everyone watching its Surface event with a pair of gorgeous dual-screened phones and then took the wind right out of their sails by announcing Holiday 2020 availability, and now who gives a crap? Speaking of Microsoft, coming up in November, we've got Microsoft Ignite in Florida on November 4th, Wired 25 in San Francisco starting on November 7th, Motorola's Razr event in Los Angeles on November 13th, Dreamforce in San Francisco on November 19th, and a very, very late Black Friday on November 29th, which is a long, long way away and a short, short time before the Christmas holiday. Good luck and Godspeed, shoppers. So that is your look back on the month that was, and it was a crazy one. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Doud, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again on Tuesday.